What if the team everyone's writing off tonight is the same team that ends up celebrating? 2 matches today, 4 nations who all believe they belong here. And if the World Cup has taught us anything, it's that the favorite doesn't always get the ending they wrote for themselves. Tonight we're breaking down Mexico versus South Korea and Canada versus Qatar. 2 fixtures that look settled before kickoff, until you actually look closer. On paper, 2 of these teams are supposed to walk away comfortable winners. But paper doesn't play 90 minutes under stadium lights with the whole world watching. So here's our first question for you. Right now, before anything else, which of these 4 teams do you think is being underestimated the most? Drop your answer in the comments, because we're about to test exactly how confident you are. We're not giving you a single prediction yet. Not one. First, you need to see why these matches aren't nearly as one-sided as the headlines suggest. Football has a memory problem. It keeps forgetting who's supposed to win. Think about every World Cup shock you've ever watched. A team nobody backed walks in, plays without fear, and walks out as the story of the tournament. It happens because belief doesn't show up on a stats sheet. History is full of these moments. A penalty saved in the final minute. A red card that changes everything. A substitute who turns into a hero nobody saw coming. None of it asks permission from the favorites. Pressure changes players. A heavy favorite can freeze in the biggest moment, while an underdog with nothing to lose can play like the game was made for them. That's exactly the tension sitting underneath both of today's matches. 2 teams walk in carrying expectation. 2 teams walk in with something to prove. And only football decides which one matters more when the cameras are rolling and the crowd is holding its breath. So as we go through tonight's matchups, hold on to this thought. Are you watching the team that's expected to win, or the team that's about to make everyone rewrite their predictions? Because by the time we reach the final whistle, somebody's confidence is going to take a hit. Match 1. Mexico versus South Korea. Let's start with Mexico. This is a team that thrives on home support and tournament experience, and that confidence shows up in how comfortable they look on the ball. Their midfield controls possession patiently, and their attack has real quality. Santiago Jimenez offers constant movement in the box. Raul Jimenez brings strength and timing that unsettles defenders. Edson Alvarez sits in front of the back line, reading danger before it becomes dangerous. That's a side built to dominate territory. They know how to slow a game down when they need control, and speed it up the moment they sense an opening. But here's where things get complicated. South Korea isn't here to defend a result. This is a team that lives on transition, and transition football punishes teams that get too comfortable. Son Heung-min can change a match with a single touch, even on a quiet night. Lee Kang-in finds pockets of space that shouldn't exist. Kim Min-jae reads attacks early and rarely loses a physical battle. There's also something else working in South Korea's favor. Teams built around possession can sometimes forget how dangerous it is to leave even a single yard of space against players this fast. So ask yourself, can Mexico's control survive South Korea's speed in transition? Can a backline built for possession football handle constant counters and flip it around? Could one burst from Son Heung-min be the only moment that decides this entire match? Mexico's risk is simple. If they push too many bodies forward, the space behind them becomes South Korea's playground. South Korea's risk is just as real. If they sit too deep waiting to counter, Mexico's midfield could eventually wear them down. 2 contrasting game plans, 1 match, and right now, neither team has the edge. Match 2, Canada versus Qatar. Now to Canada. This is a team built on intensity, pressing high, and forcing mistakes before opponents can settle into rhythm. Alphonso Davies brings relentless pace on the left side. Jonathan David finishes chances that other strikers might waste. Steven Eustachio dictates tempo, moving the ball forward the second his team wins it back. It's an aggressive identity that's hard to play against, and at full intensity, it can overwhelm teams before they've even found their footing. However, there's one problem. Qatar has grown into a team that doesn't panic anymore. Qatar plays with structure that's difficult to break, built from years of familiarity between these same players. They understand exactly how to absorb pressure without losing shape. Akram Afif can unlock a defense with a single pass that nobody else sees coming. Almawez Ali stays alert in the box, waiting for the smallest mistake. Mishal Barsham has proven he can produce the saves that keep his team alive in matches they're not expected to win. There's a quiet danger in underestimating a team that's used to being underestimated. Qatar has been here before, and that experience doesn't disappear just because people stop talking about it. So can Davies find room against a defense built specifically to take that room away? Or could Afif be the one who turns a quiet first half into a moment Canada never recovers from? Canada's danger is obvious. Their high press leaves gaps if Qatar finds the right pass at the right time. Qatar's danger is just as clear. If Canada's pace overwhelms them early, their discipline could start to crack before halftime. This is where everything could change. And we're still not telling you who wins. All right, here's where you come in. Who do you trust more right now? Type Mexico, South Korea, Canada, or Qatar in the comments below. Just one word, and let's see which team this community actually believes in. If you think the bigger name wins both matches tonight, hit that like button right now. But if you've got a feeling one of these underdogs is about to do something unforgettable, don't just say it. Tell us exactly why you think so. And if you're torn between two outcomes, that's fine too. Tell us which match you're least sure about, because honestly, we went back and forth on both. Okay, enough waiting. Let's get into it. For Mexico versus South Korea, we're calling it 2-1 to Mexico. Their control in midfield should be just enough to outlast South Korea's pace, but Son Heung-min will make sure it's never comfortable. For Canada versus Qatar, we're predicting Canada 2-0. Their pressing speed through Davies and David should be too much for Qatar to handle for a full 90 minutes, even with Afif fighting until the final whistle. Two predictions. Two teams we believe can deliver. But football has already proven tonight that nothing is guaranteed until the final whistle blows. So now, it's over to you. Do you agree with these calls, or do you see a different result coming? Tell us below, and if you want every World Cup 2026 prediction before it happens, make sure you're subscribed, because the next shock could be just one match day away.